Hey, welcome back everybody to another episode of Clouds of Darkness. Well, last episode, or the two parts, were a lot of fun, but today is time that we get back to making a few machines, and I want to give you guys an idea what I'm aiming for. Now, as soon as I start recording, I just got the message the Blood Moon is rising, so once I showed you guys the changes I did to the base and so on, I'm gonna need to wait this out because it really sucks for recording this Blood Moon, especially because we're gonna go and spend a lot of time underneath the base. So I brought the chest from the Nether over here. Let me turn on night vision, makes it better. Okay. And I put one crystal chest here and one obsidian chest there, and I actually made two more obsidian chests. And I cleaned out this system right here. There was way too much gobbledygook in here that has nothing to do with crafting. And I put all that stuff over here. And this obsidian chest is all stuff that I don't know if we're ever going to use again and so on. I'm kind of glad we got the Nether Star because now we can work on making an angel ring, for which we need to make the sigil, which is going to take some wildy craft runes and so on. I got to look into that, how to make all this first though. And these guys I haven't let out of the nets yet because I want to build them some nice enclosures. Almost like a little zoo or something, and figure that out. And you guys have given me a lot of great input in the comments. For example, about these questing rams that you gotta feed them colored wool, and we have lots of wool and colors, so I'm gonna look into how to do that. This up here is all from sifting leaves. Again, you guys told me about this. I asked, how do you get these Pam's Harvest Crest saplings? And somebody replied that, sift leaves. And I did, I don't know, 11, 12 stacks of leaves, and we got all this stuff. So we got saplings for days. And we can turn in this quest, actually. Let's see. We can start with this. I can find this again. Oh. I should have probably turned those in first. Oh, I did not see that we're getting a watering can. Alright, we get to that in a second. Sorry, getting sidetracked here. Where is it here? Yes. Alright, so I need one of each to turn this in. Let's do this real quick. This Blood Moon is so annoying. Sorry about that, guys. So, one of you... One of you, one of you. I guess I can just use the mouse wheel, that would be faster. My mouse wheel is so messed up. Cool. Flame rewards, and I have to. We don't need these or these, so I'm gonna take. There's something else I need to do here. Why can I not claim the reward? My bag full, maybe that's why it doesn't let me do that. Huh, it's pretty intelligent. Cool. Alright, let me put these seeds in here for now. We don't need them. And open this bag real quick. And the pearl, awesome. So, by the way, I turned off the mob farm. It's not going right now. I did have the trash can up here instead of this obsidian chest, but it caused me some problems because whatever goes into our storage system that doesn't have an assigned spot gets voided. So I was making ender tanks and picked up the full bear drum with essence, mob essence, and because the item collector's right next to it, it sucked it right in, and then of course it got voided. So. And I lost a few other things around the item collector, and it kind of annoyed me. And I'm like, you know what? We got so many things. This Blood Moon is so annoying. Let me show you guys here. Look at the amount of ingots we got. And we can take these 64 with us for the next quest. But we're getting we got a ton of stuff. We got to start using some of this before I turn on the mob farm again. And we still have over almost 2 stacks of ender pearls. And, tons of other stuff. And I've been combining a lot of the ores because I needed a lot to craft all these machines. And over here, I had a lot of fun. I added an auto enchanter Sorry, we already had the auto enchanter. I just added it back there. And this is where I needed the ender tank for. I simply came out of the drum into the ender tank, and I made another ender tank for over here. That is filling the auto enchanter. And I did a book here, Frugal 3. Wow, that's useless. Oh, and I got more leaves here that I didn't fit into the sifter. And I built an auto anvil. Because I started taking all these books that we had, and I started combining them in the anvil. And I'm like, alright, I'm going to start running out of levels real fast. And there is a way that we could use this mob essence and place it in the ground and then use a straw on it and drink it. But you know what? That's a pain in the butt. So I made an auto anvil, and you can simply put 2 books in here, and it combines it for you using essence and power. So I prepared 2 absorption 4 books, 3 protection 4, and 5 unbreaking 3. And now we still have a few other books left here, but not enough to combine. That's why I've been just putting books in here and just see what I'm getting. I mean, we got free power. Wrong machine. We got free power and free mob essence, so I'm just gonna keep dropping them in there and see what we get. Alright, now that is 2 more things over here. I just gave these guys the smallest augment for speed upgrade, and that's working good enough. These 2 machines are quite fast now, and I upgraded the bone meal here. And that's funny, I chose 64 times 64 plus 1. That's a little buggy. It's not supposed to have the plus 1, but whatever. I upgraded it with the 2 structural upgrades, this one, and then gave it a void upgrade. Because, you know, I keep getting so much bone meal down here, or in this chest, I should say. And we got 2 full barrels of bone meal. I used some to make more fertilized dirt, to make the essence seeds, which I'm gonna need to make more now, or just use the ones I've planted over here, to turn in that quest. So we got this one. What's the next one here? What are we missing here? Ha! I mean, that works out perfect. I still gotta build this one. I totally forgot. I'm gonna do this in a second. Ooh, nice. 100 and 100. We'll probably put those back through the sifter, because actually, oh, I did not think of that either. Man, so many things go through my head right now. Sorry, guys. So, what I did over here, okay, I wanted to look into, you guys see the 2 chests are gone here. I wanted to see if these planter and harvester upgrades on the better chests can handle magical crops. And they can, which is awesome. That means I redid this over here a little bit because I had this laid out, you know, for 1 harvester and 1 planter. But now I made 4 different 5x5s and 4 more up here. These chests are just placed. They don't have any upgrades yet. And then 1 big one up here that, you know, this, I could split it up if we want to have more different ones. Or like if I want a lot of 1, I could use this one. But we'll see how we use this. And then I planted, or I put in the iron seeds. Why are they all the way over here? Yeah, and it's planting it and harvesting them. And over here I started with the regular essence seeds that make this stuff. And these, I think that we're getting some from harvesting here automatically, but we had a bunch from manual harvesting I put in here. You guys just saw one went through. It takes the seed and replants it right away. And here I put a barrel for these tainted things that they have no use, but that way if I ever take something down by hand and I get them in my bag, I can right click real fast. Yep, see, this one got harvested. Anyway, because I want to get into magical crops a lot, I figured one of the first ones I want to go for is, for example, ender seeds. So we can make ender pearls, so we don't need to turn this guy on. I want to get to a point where I only need to turn on the mob farm if we need mob essence. Because all these drops is just such a pain in the butt, and we got so much stuff already that we don't need it right now. But I want to make this one field over here, this one. I'm gonna call it the power grower. Okay, there's some hookups here already where I want to put a fertilizer. And for that, I prepared sewers. We're also gonna set up a composter to make the industrial fertilizer, whatever it's called. And we're also going to set up the sludge boiler again. And we're going to do all that now. But first, let's get this out of our inventory. Yes. B64. We got, I think, 80 or something ingots that we put in last time. What did we put in? 20 and 20, I think. So we got a lot of extra manilium for now. And manual submit. And let's get all these rewards. Cool. Let's open this bag. What is it? A good one. That is very good. 2 wooden chests. I'm really low on chests. And I'm totally being sarcastic. Alright, let's get rid of this stuff for now. And let's just check what the next thing is we need to do for these. Cool. I'm gonna make those here between cuts so we can turn them in. And then upgrade our pick, which we don't really need, but it doesn't matter. Okay, now enough of this. And let's get started with going underneath. It's daytime now, and set up all these sewers. I figured before we set up all the other machines now, I'm gonna make the fertilizer so we can turn in this quest first. And I just gotta find it again. Where was this? Not here. Better storage. Yes, okay, cool. And then I can actually use this fertilized dirt. I was going to mention that earlier. Instead of the actual dirt, because that should increase growth by a lot. Little change in plans. When I edited the episode, it was about 20 minutes of me just laying conduit down here underneath the island, setting up the machines, and it got really boring. And especially because it does not turn out the way that I envisioned, and I explain to you in a second why. So I decided to scrap this whole footage and just give you guys a real quick recap on what we did. And then we'll continue working on the quests. So here we set up 2 sewers with a tin upgrade where the pigs are, and the same over here for the cows. All this sewage is getting pumped over to here into the composter. And from the harvester, we're pumping all the sludge over to the sludge boiler that we put down here nicely out of the way so we can't get, you know, damaged. And I even put a shut off switch over here so if I ever need to do something, I can shut it off from distance first. And then we also ran power from this tesseract to the sludge boiler, to the composter, and all the way over to the fertilizer. And the industrial fertilizer from the composter goes through an item conduit, that's this green one here, also over to the fertilizer. So that's a quick recap on what we did here. And up here, there's the composter. It's doing its thing. And it's actually filling the output chest here because we're not using this industrial fertilizer. And over here, sludge boiler, you know, it comes from down here into a regular sorting system into all these barrels. And we got a new one pot. So, oh. And I don't know if we're ever going to use them, but they're there, ready to go. And also over here, we added structural 1 and 2 upgrades to these 3 barrels, and also void upgrades to each one of them. So now this harvester will never stop even though the barrels are full, and that's what I wanted because I wanted to continue making sludge, so that works out nicely. Now let me show you guys why this was all for nothing. It sucks, but oh well. So this is where this fertilizer is, and it's actually turned off now because we did some testing. Number 1, Magical Crops does not grow on fertilized dirt at all. When you plant it, after about 15 to 30 seconds, it pops out of the ground, the seed. Whenever that happens, you see the bone meal effect, the little, those green particles. And so Magical Crops just does not allow it to grow. You cannot use bone meal, yeah, or doesn't fertilizer. The only thing you can use is a watering can. And we also had this hold here with with the magical crops, and this industrial or the fertilizer doesn't do anything. It never uses any industrial fertilizer, so you cannot speed up this process outside of a watering can, and you can only plant it on regular dirt. Anyways, let's see if we finally got 5. Yes. Alright, cool. Now let's turn this in, and we're getting that watering can. I'm excited about that. And now we need to make the infusion stone, the first one. So, but I can put these back and put this planting upgrade on it. So this can continue going. Now I have no idea what this one is for. Essence infused axe. Tier 1. Let's see. Usage. I'm gonna have to look into what these. Why is this special here? But let's open the reward bag. Here, this is what I think of your stone sword. Yeah. Okay, but let's try out this watering can. Maybe it says empty. I'm probably gonna have to right click it. Now it's a watering can. And does this actually speed it up? It sure looks like it. Nice. That means I can, you know, when I get a seed made, I can actually watering can it to hopefully get a second one and so on to just speed this up. Alright, so sucks that the poop production and the fertilizer was for nothing, but we got the sludge boiler set up. Let's see if we got anything else. Okay, a few different items already. So like, I think this is coarse dirt, clay, gravel, and sand. Alright, and the other stuff, I just want to get it because this is a sky block, and if we can get free blocks, great. If we never use them, so be it, but I think it's important. We don't need any of that stuff. Okay, let's see what it takes to make this weak infusion stone. A diamond and 8 of that. That's pretty easy. More and a diamond. And I believe now, if I look over this usage, now we can, for example, make the next level. But I want to see what are actual seeds I can make now. What? How do you make seeds? I thought that you need these stones for it. Pretty sure we cannot make that. Yeah, let's say coal seed. Oh, I thought that you needed this infusion stone for this stuff. So why is that so important? So I gotta definitely, this is gonna be my priority, that front one, to get more essence seeds. And we still have a lot of dirt and stuff. So let's see, ender seed. That's the one I really want to get to. Make, okay, I need it for, alright, okay, my bad. And to make these, I gotta combine it with the stone. But let's see what the quest says next. Get a pickaxe. Anti-dragon shield. Defense 5 and fire resistance plus 90%. That is pretty slick. Very cool. I want to really get more magical crops together now, and this quest right here requires us to get detect, you know, 6 earth, 6 coal, 6 dye, 6 air, 6 water, and 1 fire. I don't know why this guy's special, but anyway. And I figured we're gonna make these, 1 of each. I'm gonna need 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. Okay, let's get 24 of these guys here. Cool. And then here's a coal seed. And I know I'm only getting 1, but I can simply use the watering can. That's what I've been doing for the last hour or so to get all these seeds. We got tons extra now. The watering can is really cool. I mean, there's no way to automate it because it would break in the autonomous activator and so on, but it's okay. I'll just AFK holding down the button here. And one more. So now what I'm going to do with these is I am going over into this area. And I just let this guy plant it, and I just watering can over here like crazy. Let's see how that works out. And 2, 4, 6. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and watering can these until we have 6 each of these seeds, and then we can turn on this quest and see what's next. Quite a lot of time has passed with the watering can over there. And it just took too long. I had really bad luck with getting extra seeds. But during the whole time, we got a bunch more of these essence seeds. So I started a second farm over here just recently. Oh, we got another one already. Because we're going to need a lot of these essence dusts, as far as I know, for the armor and so on. And I looked into the quest book, and we needed to get some bananas and cherries and lemonade. And we didn't have those saplings yet. We have now banana and lemon. And I got that from, I used a couple of jungle saplings over in the tree farm and set it to sheer leaves and then put 2 stacks through there. And I got the missing saplings, apparently get them from jungle saplings. So this is the lemon, the cherry we already had, and I planted that here, and there's a banana. Now the lemon is kind of weird. I planted 2 of them over here first, and neither one of them showed lemons on it. I tore it down and I planted this one. Also didn't show any lemons, and I was about to take it down and then one popped up. So apparently these lemons here, they come after a while. Now we're up to 5 on this tree. So just keep your eye on that in case you have the same thought than me. Because I remember you could plant them and you only get 1 on there or none. It's possible. But this lemon apparently grows afterwards. So I got those done. And I also made all the manilium parts. And I got all the saplings. I didn't make any extra fire saplings. I have to crafted all the other ones that we were missing. Because we only got 1 fire and then maybe 1 or 2 of the other ones from the watering can. And it just took too long. So let's turn in. Let's first start with this here. Types of food. So I made a lemonade with the juicer and 1 lemon. Let's claim all these delicious cakes. We're gonna have to find a certain spot for them. Don't really want to waste them. They look nice. And what do we have next here now? Snack. Cooked chicken, chocolate bar, soy milk, toast sandwich, and ice cream. Okay, I think that I'm gonna go ahead and prepare that for next episode. We don't want to do that. That's too easy now. Let's continue with the magical crops. Where was this again? Right there. No, that's the one with the manilium. I made these 3 parts first for the pickaxe, and then this one opened. And I actually needed to make a new cast for the hand guard. We only had the white guard and 1 other one for the rapier. And I guess this one is for the long sword. I'm not going to make the long sword, so I also made this one here, the white guard, because I want to upgrade the broadsword here. It's not required for the quest, but I made it. Then I needed to make an axe setup and also a shovel. So we can go ahead and claim all these rewards. Put this in here, and we put these tools together in just a minute. I'll open this bag in a second. Alright, and then I saw that this one opened, and we had the leadstone energy cell, the Invar, and the redstone conductant coil. But we did not have credit for the copper. And then I looked it up, and that this coloring here looks like the Tinker's Construct copper. So then I went down and poured 3 more ingots of the copper, which you guys see here, and did not get any credit. So I had to use HQM edit and complete this quest. But I did make the ingots that were missing, and now we can turn this one on. I guess the lava crystal we could put on the shovel, so if we ever find sand we just get glass, but meh. Really not that important, I think. So we're done with this completely over here. And I also want to do this one here, the ender, small ender set. And I got that done. These right here are really cheap to make. It's just 1 ender pearl, you get 9 of these nuggets. So I took 3, and we have a couple left over. And let's just make this armor. It looks kind of cute how small it is. It's like tiny. And we get 12 ender pearls back, so that's really nice. We actually made a profit. Now what is this? We need to make the upgraded, which let's just see. Ender helm. So that would be this one, I'm guessing, right? Yeah. Oh, it's just with ender pearls. And then I'm gonna guess we have to make this one. Oh, that's gonna be more expensive. I think we continue on that next episode also. After we get back from the castle or something, I'll have everything ready. So now let's do this, which are there. No, sorry, phone's buzzing over here. So, oh, apparently I never even saw that one. I went straight to that one. Well, we got plenty of these, and now we get the shovel. Interesting. You guys know if these tools are any good, or if there's a certain purpose for them? Let me know. And now we claim this. Now we got the sword. So we now pretty much got the whole tool set. Now what's next? Now we need to make this essence infused armor. I'm gonna look into which of these armors we want to go for. I know the Mark IV here has flight, which, I mean, would be really awesome to make this. And look at this durability. That's a lot of durability. Holy shnikes. And you make this with infused ingots. Well, those are cheap to make. And what's the next one? Ah, that's where we need the infused diamonds. We're going to need to make gold and obsidian. But that might be a nice upgrade. I'm gonna go into a testing world after the episode and see if when you enchant this piece and then you upgrade it, if it will actually keep the enchant. But these are gonna take a long time to get. Even though we do have a lot from the nether, that's still gonna take a long time. Okay. So, well, actually, I say we get these guys going until we need those plots for something else. I haven't really found any important use for any of these seeds, the earth and so on. I think that you can make like mossy cobble with the essences, and you can get like lily pads and some other stuff, but nothing, you know, that we either don't already have or need. Okay. So I'm just gonna let this go until, you know, we have the ender seeds and so on. And let me get rid of this gobbledygook here. I'm gonna put these 4 in here for now. And let's open some bags. So we got 2 greater, 2 epic, and 1 good. Let's start with the good. Amulet of Glory. Wow. That looks amazing. Plus 15% damage and 15% defense. Right now we have garbage one that I made. That is nice. Perfect. So when we go into that Castle of Magic next time. Eat potion. Okay, that's not really that good. Ooh, Ender Sword. You got plus 7 attack damage. Is this used for something? No. Well, it's a nice looking sword, but what's the recipe for this? 2 ender balls and an ender stick. Okay. So I'm guessing nothing really fancy. 16 blocks of diamond. I'll take it. Especially when we need to make all the essence infused diamonds. And what does this one do? Now, one of the viewers told me in the comments that that's why I have this one on. The Charm of Poison protects you from all poison damage. Can you guys tell me if I need to have this on the bar or in the inventory? Because I tried it on the bauble slots and everything, and I couldn't figure out, you know, where does this go. So I figured when I go to the Castle of Magic, I'm just gonna put it in the inventory and hopefully it will protect us. Because there's also, you know, no usage for it. I don't know if you can make something out of this. And I'm guessing the Charm of the Ocean is going to protect us from drowning damage. So if you guys have any info on how to use these, please go down in the comments and let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to have them in my inventory and figure this out. Okay, I'll clean all this up later. But now, before we end, I am gonna get the stuff together. Well, let's just see here quick. I want to make the ender seeds. That was one of my goals today. Where is it? Earth, emerald, right here, ender seed. I'm gonna need to make 4 of these. Let me get all this stuff here together real quick, and then we'll make the first seed so we can get this planted so this can grow nicely between episodes. I sure have a lot of cuts today in this episode. And I feel kind of bad about it, but there's so much stuff to do to get to the next part. So you guys see I got 4 achievements. I made a regular infusion stone, then I crafted regular essence, then a strong infusion stone and strong essence. And all that is to make this ender seed. In order to make that, we need to make these strong essence, which requires a strong infusion stone to use these regular essences. And to make these, you need to have the regular infusion stone. And to make these, I used 8 coal essences to upgrade the first one. And then I used obsidian essence to upgrade that one into the strong one. And I could have made the redstone or glowstone, but where was the other thing here? Give me 1 second. What did we need this for? Let me see here. Man, I forgot. There was something we need the gold and obsidian for. Oh, yeah, yes, I remember now. The diamond infused or essence infused diamond. Where is this? Essence infused. Or this stuff here. In order to make these, we need obsidian and gold. And I remembered that, so I figured, hey, let's go with the obsidian. And then between episodes, I'm going to start working on the gold, which should be no problem. But I made enough stuff to now finally make 1 ender seed. Yay! So I want to get this planted first, and then we upgrade our Tinker's Construct tools, because I want to see how awesome they get. And the obsidian I planted over here, and, you know, used the watering can. And the first 8 we had I used here. And the ender seed I'm going to plant right here. And then, of course, you know, I'm going to spend a lot of time with the watering can, and I'm hoping that we have chances of getting extra seeds of these guys. And if not, then I'll just need to make more of them, or maybe put all of them on one field. We'll see. I'll figure that out between episodes and let you guys know. And now I'm going to drown myself. I've had enough. I'm kidding. You guys see that? I'm getting water breathing. And I just decided to try this out with this Charm of the Ocean, which I, you know, figured that it's going to save us from drowning. And as soon as you go underwater, you get the water breathing. I'm guessing I just need to have them in my inventory, which is awesome. So I answered my own question, I guess. And the Charm of Poison should work the same way. Alright. We did a lot of essences and seeds today, holy moly. And now I want to upgrade these tools. Alright, let's definitely start with the pick. Right now, I just want to check here. We got mining speed 71. Okay, so put this guy on here. Mining speed 78. And this and that. Oh, I can only do one at a time, apparently. Alright, cool. So we got a fully upgraded axe, and I want to pickaxe, and I want to upgrade this guy. What do we have here? Attack 6.5 hearts. I wonder how far that goes up now. 7 hearts. Okay, I wonder if we're gonna get, man, this is a very colorful sword. If we're gonna get anything else here. What does this do? Apparently nothing. And do anything? Oh, durability goes up a lot, which doesn't matter much, but look at this sword. I mean, look how amazing it looks. Now we got the purple on the bottom. I love it. And let's upgrade this guy here. Let me do the head first just to make sure. Wow, that's a fast axe. It's gonna tear through stuff. And I am going to make a shovel. I'm finally gonna make a shovel. I don't have one. I don't want to upgrade the mattock anymore. I only use it for hoeing. And, you know, maybe go to the nether and get a level on it so I can put moss on it. And I wanted to check one more thing here. We still have one modifier remaining. Okay, I'm gonna have to think about what to put on. If you guys have any recommendation, let me know. Otherwise, I might just put in on that other necrotic bone that we got to get more lifesteal. I think that would be cool. Let's put this away. So, all right, it certainly was it's a weird episode. I'm not happy about it because it just feels like there was so many cuts and so many little things to do, and we didn't really have much fun. We want to have more fun, so next time we're definitely going right there. As soon as the episode starts, we're gonna craft some armor, enchant it, and like I said, I'm gonna do some testing in a testing world between episodes and find out more about this armor, which one we should go for, and then we'll go see how this place is. I've read a lot of horror stories about some mummies or something that apparently are there that are really tough. So I want to make sure we have good armor and we have an amazing sword, so we should be fine. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and as always, if you did, I'd appreciate a thumbs up, and until next time, take care everybody. Bye-bye.